Hi, I'm JP Sears. Why am I standing here talking to you in the hot sun, getting my Caucasian self a little sunburn? Because I'd like to bring some awareness to you about how to thrive as an extrovert. Are you an extrovert? You're either an extrovert or you're an introvert, or somewhere on the continuum in between. For those of us, including myself, who happen to be more extroverted, we know we're an extrovert because we process life, we feel more connected, we feel safer, we feel more relaxed when we're with people, whether it's just somebody else or a big group of people. We seem to thrive in social situations. We need to talk more, and we get a little bit perturbed by quietness and solitude. A lot of us as extroverts don't know what we think until we hear ourselves saying it. I have something to say and I need everybody to listen. Are you listening? I don't know what I need to say, but I might know it when I say it. So by definition, an extrovert has to go external of themselves to get connected with themselves, for us to get in touch with our thinking, our feeling, as well as to feel safe and relaxed in life. So how can you as an extrovert thrive and not get swallowed up by the shadow side of being an extrovert? Those of us who are extroverts, we're fortunate. We live in a world actually set up for extroverts to thrive. In a career path, it's easier to thrive, it's easier to become a leader if we're able to extrovert ourselves. Our media is set up to value extroversion and actually discount introversion. So the beautiful part is we have a lot of gifts given to us as extroverts, yet we want to be careful not to fall off the bridge into our own shadow side. By contrast, if you are an introvert, it means you process life, you feel more relaxed, more connected to yourself when you are going into yourself, and you get more disconnected from yourself. The more you're forced into situations where you need to interact with people beyond your point of balance. So if you're an introvert, feel free to click the video below. That video is for you. As extroverts, even though we need external connection in order to thrive, we want to realize, like anything in life, there's a place of balance where as an extrovert, if you get too extroverted, the expense is you're losing yourself. You're actually disconnecting from yourself. And on the other side, if we as extroverts can't feed our extroverted needs and we stay too introverted, we're disconnecting from ourselves. We're losing ourselves. So what I'd like to share is some considerations for you and I to look at so that we as extroverts can find our place of balance to maximize our enjoyment of life and our connection with ourselves without having our path of comfort, extroversion, be at the expense of losing ourselves. And we can also consider just the opposite for an introvert. Remember, if you're an introvert, you're not supposed to be watching this. But if you're an introvert, if you don't have your quiet time, your solitude, that's how you lose yourself, because you're too busy having to pay attention to everybody else, being distracted by everybody else, which draws you outside of yourself. So introverts simply need more volume of time in solitude to find themselves. It's been said the only cure for loneliness is solitude. But perhaps we all have an individuality for how much solitude is food for us versus when does solitude become a poison for us. If a redhead stands on a dock and talks and there's nobody there to hear him, does he really make a noise? So let's talk about how you as an extrovert can find your appropriate balance of solitude and your appropriate balance of living outside of yourself to help you thrive. Would you consider this first perspective on how you can thrive as an extrovert? And it is simply be mindful of your extroversion. What do I mean by that? Being mindful of your extroverted needs. You as an extrovert, you're needy just like all other people, but your unique needs depend on other people. So what I'd invite you to do is be aware of how your needs are either greeted by other people or if they are actually an infringement on other people. So for instance, if you have one introvert in your life, they are not going to be able to meet your need for extroverted connection without it compromising themselves. So my invitation for you is to be very mindful of how other people experience you. Your need to talk to them. Your need to have them talk to you. Your need for being out in social settings with significant people in your life. Being sensitive that what's comfortable, what's valuable, and what helps you thrive may be incredibly different for them. Did you know Superman is allergic to kryptonite? It's a really beautiful day. What do you think about today? I would guess, well, I just wonder, maybe you can't hear me. I just want to make sure that you're paying attention. Your second consideration is to make sure you get solitude time, to have alone time. Is this a challenge for extroverts? Absolutely. Is there a reason why solitary confinement is said to be one of the most significant forms of torture? Absolutely. It's even more torturous for extroverts. Yet in the name of what I mentioned a few minutes ago about making sure we find our place of balance, that means you and I need some level of solitude time. My invitation is to make sure you get that solitude time. Challenge yourself to get uncomfortable with your comfort zone. Find peace and quiet. Challenge yourself when you're needing other people, yes. Connect with other people some of the time. And practice fulfilling the connection within yourself other parts of the time. Your third point of consideration is practice mindful listening as an extrovert. Of course, listening, it's an inwardly directed activity where we're expressing a feminine energy, a yin energy, where we take in other people's words. That can be a challenge for an extrovert. But to bring more value into your life and to create more meaningful relationships that aren't stepped on by the shadow side of your extroversion, my invitation is to be very mindful, not just listening to people, but hearing them, seeking first to listen and then talk. And I would challenge you, if you notice yourself formulating what you want to say while you're listening to somebody, practice just emptying yourself. Your purpose of listening is to listen, not to formulate what you're about to say, not to interrupt and step on someone when you can say it faster, more coherently. The fourth point of consideration on how to thrive as an extrovert is to be very mindful with your words. Have you ever noticed yourself talking a lot and saying very little? I would ask you to have an observer consciousness when you're talking. Pay attention to what you're saying. Otherwise, there's a good chance that you'll begin to step on other people out of your lack of self-observance, mindfulness about the words you're expressing. Why do I bring this up? Because I catch myself doing it all the time, as I'm an extrovertaholic, doing my best to go into recovery. I appreciate you taking in this food for thought on how you can thrive as an extrovert. My hope is that it can bring some level of enrichment into your life. And if you like this video, feel free to like the video below, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. And if you didn't like this video, I would invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. I accept you as you are. I think the fish stopped listening to me.